maybe.
MCI,
Yeah, MCI. The broadband
Verizon.
manufacturer.
Yeah,
Oh, the
Verizon,
tennis.
MCI.
Sorry, the tennis. Sorry. MCI.
Yeah, MCI is actually freaking. Their trade name is Verizon Enterprise Solutions.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Okay. MCI.
but they were also known as WorldCom. Okay, and
Yeah.
and
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Carry on.
now what happened was is in right around 1997 or so, freaking this company WorldCom, which is Verizon, uh, ended up acting as a broker. Then they are the ones who eventually sold CompuServe to freaking AOL. Okay, so
Okay.
all of this got started being I guess you could say it started being merged together, becoming eventually the World Wide Web. And you've seen that a lot back in the day where it was all being freaking put together and conglomerated or whatever you want to call it. All of these different companies that were all in, big part of the internet. They were being merged together, and that's what I remember when it comes to AOL, and then the emergence of the World Wide Web, and even like today when everybody talks about the World Wide Web, okay, like it was supposed to be so much more than what it was actually. It actually turned out to be like they were making it out to be the next best thing. You know what I mean? Everybody was supposed to freaking get on the World Wide Web, and we were all going to live free and happy lives. You know what I'm saying?
You've been watching too much Star Trek.
No, I mean,
You
I
told.
remember the 80s. I remember freaking middle aged women going to strip malls and fucking learning how to type and learn word processing. You know what I mean? So that they could freaking learn how to be a secretary and work on a computer. You know, these were.
I remember back in the mid-90s, I was teaching, or I was acting as classroom support and tech support
Yeah.
for a college.
And this introduces my first part of the internet is a fucking scam. Okay, all those people that went to those strip malls to learn word processing, I guarantee you, are still working a shit job, saying, you know what, fuck y'all, motherfuckers.
They may be working from home.
What are they doing?
Well, still typing. You don't have to be in an office to type.
I've never had a secretary job in my life, and I can type freaking 60 words per freaking second, dude. Okay,
Okay.
and I know QWERTY.
A minute.
That's
Per
like,
second.
isn't it per second?
Yeah.
It's like 60 words per
No,
second.
per minute. So yeah, 60
Yeah.
divided by 12.
60 words per minute. Yeah, that's the minimum for being a secretary right there, dude. I've never had a class.
Yeah. That's always I've been, but I don't know. I probably am quite rusty. I haven't had the test in years, but at 1.120.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I figured
But that
out.
was many years ago.
I figured that was one thing that I messed up on with the first time. Whenever we did it, I think it would have been, especially with talking about ARPA and DARPA.
Okay.
Bringing up CompuServe would have been a better way of doing it, because I know that you wanted to point out what I considered what the internet was, and you got pretty rowdy about it, if I remember.
Okay.
Now we've been kind of talking about it too, but like the other day when we were on Tech Talk, and we were talking about sound waves and things of that nature. Things like back in the day, whenever you used the internet, you freaking took your phone and you stuck it on the receiver. You remember that?
Yeah.
And it did the ringtones. You remember the funny little ringtones?
Well, if you've got a iPhone or a Apple device, you've got some wonderful ringtones on those.
Mhm. Now that is what that's what I was talking about. That was before metadata. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that right there is probably the purest form of internet that you could possibly get. Now, when you start looking at in my opinion, when you start looking at the wonderful world of internet, the worldwide web, what you're looking at is metadata. You know what I mean? You're looking at freaking HTMLs and stuff like that. That's what that's
Yeah,
all about.
you watch the as I can't remember the UK in, Loki. Yeah, this the rule is the thing is that the internet is to say load of pages with interlinked resource locators in them. So that's what the
Now,
internet is. That's what the web is, should I say?
and like the networks actually is what is important because a lot of people don't understand like your router that's sitting in your
Yeah,
house.
the internet is mainly about hardware. Yeah, the
It's your
internet
routers.
itself is yeah,
It's running
yeah
out to
that's
different
that is
networks.
so common. Yeah,
And it's creating its own network. You're getting
and
excited.
then yeah, being added to another network. In theory, any computer, any computing device could become an internet server of one description or another,
Mhm.
because that's the entire concept. Networks of networks.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Now this brings me to back to ARPA. Now ARPA, or at the time it was called ARPA. Now it's referred to as DARPA. What I learned was the earliest forms of internet was when gaming emerged, and I've mentioned this on Gaming with Infamy.
Actually, the earliest form of internet would be email. Actually, I
Oh, it
believe
could have been beforehand. It could have been before, maybe, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? Because this started with the academia.
email. em- Yeah, emails. Standard addresses go back to 1960s, possibly late 50s.
Maybe. I
Maybe, but yeah, back in at least the mid '60s. So yeah, email addresses
now,
was, as you could argue, was the first practical usage of the internet.
well, networks like ARPANET would also allow researchers and freaking institutions to connect
Yeah,
computers into like colleges and stuff too, so that they
yeah,
could.
and that's where you get protocols like FTP and Gopher
Mhm.
and Finger from. When was the last time you used the Gopher service? I
I know.
presume you have.
All I know is from that era, they were saying that they were using them for experiments like multi-user dungeons. They had that,
Yeah,
and then they were using freaking
yeah,
text-based
yeah.
games.
Colossus Caves. Yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
Colossus Caves. It dates back to about 73, 74.
Now you remember text-based games, right?
I still am a fan of text-based adventures. What a lot of people would call interactive fiction these days. But yeah, I
Well,
do occasionally,
well,
very occasionally these days.
they also had the older ones that you did over the phone. You didn't even have to freaking be like when they first came out with the mobiles. You know what I mean? I remember you could actually play a text-based game over a mobile phone.
Mm,
Where they would say that like a troop of maybe 10,000 soldiers were marching towards your fort, and you had to either defend it or attack it, and it would literally take in real time 3 days before
okay.
their troops got to you.
Okay.
So you had to wait in real time 3 days to find out if you won the battle or not. You know what I mean? It was pretty cool actually. And then you built up your armies, and all it was freaking digital numbers. You know what I'm saying? There was no animation, no nothing.
I don't know. Once upon a time, chess over phone was popular. Playing
Mhm.
chess over a couple days, a game over a couple days. Yeah,
Well, I mentioned the Colossal Cave Adventure to you. You remember that,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah,
That was
yeah.
back in 1976.
Okay, since sex.
Yeah, and they
Okay,
were precursors to like modern day role playing games. So
adventure games. Do play a few point and click adventure games, so Monkey Island type things.
now,
Uh,
now see, a lot of people, or you especially, because you're real hard headed about this. Just to let you know, okay? But these games, they had a limited audience, okay? Only people who had access to them, or or had access to like a specialized system could be a part of it. You know what I mean? Not everybody could have
I
access.
don't know. By '82, technology was easier to come by.
Well, we're talking about
After all,
1970.
in the 8-bit revolution.
Hmm. Yeah, you got to also remember we're talking about the 70s and stuff. On 1970, 1980, right around there.
Okay, 78 was the start of the sort of computer revolution. Um, there was a lot of places that were using dumb terminals in effect.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, the 8-bit computer revolution really didn't start until
Until MCI brokered a deal with CompuServe and sold
that's it.
CompuServe to AOL,
Yeah.
which eventually
Mm.
became the beginnings of the World Wide Web, where these corporations started merging
Yeah.
together and taking control and saying, look, man, all your free internet exchange bullshit is a pack of lies. Now you're going to do shit according to our rules. This is what you have to do in
But
order.
you can always, no, you're missing the point of the internet or the web,
Yeah,
because it's all about allowing any machine to be a server of any response. You could spin up your own network. You can spin up your own web server. You can spin up your own
are there
site.
rules? Are there rules that you have to follow for in order on the internet, on the
In
world
what
web?
sense?
Anything that has the name.
Uh,
What are the rules? What are
it
the rules?
depends. It depends on what you're doing on the internet.
Tell me, tell me,
Depends.
tell me what is coming to your mind right now when it comes to rules and what we're talking about.
I was just thinking about the recent online UK online child safety and what's happening in Canada and what's happening in Australia at the moment. But um, wills, what wills? Such a broad question.
You know exactly what I'm talking
Such a
about.
broad question.
Okay, now what are the rules of the internet? When
The,
you when,
the,
huh? Okay, what are the rules concerning the World Wide Web?